Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 8th of August. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which is within recent ranges. It looks to be ending the week rather quietly, but you can see that we've got that uptrend line and the red uptrend line from June and the old price channel top there around 90.60. Above that, we're still looking for the 92.50 area, best case up to the 9400 area, the black resistance line projection top of the channel there by the end of next month. But in the near term, hopefully for August, 92.40, 92.50 would be on the cards. RSI just below 60, so in a good place for further pushes to the upside. There is a rug pull, the worst that's expected at the moment, probably towards the 9,000 level as we had earlier this month, 90.27. Moving on to the DAX, and here the picture is that of a market which has hit that resistance line from last month and failed there, which is, well, I suppose charting is working there, 24,400. We need to see an end of day close above that to give us a move to the top of the channel there from the spring of last year as high as 25,400 by the end of this month. On the downside, hoping that the 50-day line, the blue line there, around the 24,000 level will come in as support, although obviously the range fall there towards 23,400. RSI just on the right side of neutral 50, just under 52, so we are just balanced on the upside. The Dow's next. And here, a bit of a mess actually. We've had a sort of nominal 44,000 to 45,000 range, but that's been messed up a bit. It's now really all about the 50-day line there for 43,600 and the record highs at 45,000. I'm probably going to have a random walk in either in both directions, either towards 45,000 or the 50-day line. RSI just pushed back below the neutral 50 level to 47, so that does suggest we have the risk of a move down to that 50-day moving average, 43,600. Worst case, I suppose, is a retest of the June resistance area and the 200-day line, just under 43,000. On to Bitcoin, and here it was all about 115,000, and it's still all about 115,000. You can see that we're back in the basically in the July range, which was based at 115, looking for an end of day close through 121 to give us the momentum to hit the top of that channel there from March as high as 130,000, possibly by the end of this month. On the downside, now expecting that 112,000, the old May peak and the floor of the channel, as well as the 50-day moving average around 112,000, will be the low for this market. Obviously, if there is a rug pull, July support around 105 is a possible, but ideally we stay within that rising trend channel. Moving on to Ethereum, and here looks like it's having another go in terms of the upside. We were looking for best case scenario of 44,000 by the end of this month, which now looks doable. The top of the channel, the old black channel there from March, 35.50 now, and while we're above that, looking for 4,400. Well, whether by the end of this month or after that, and obviously that would be record highs for this market. The rally in this market foretold by two RSI rebounds above neutral 50, and so that is working quite well. On the downside, hoping that the 3,500 area will be the floor if there is any pullback. On to gold, where this tariff stories seem to be doing the trick in terms of the upside, but this is obviously an old chart from yesterday. We've got 34.30 as the resistance there. End of day close above that. We're looking for 3,800. Possibly by the end of this month. We couldn't work out what might actually get this market there. Maybe the tariffs on gold could be the thing for this market. On the downside, hoping that we won't have anything lower than 33.30, which is the floor of that rising trend channel from April. RSI at 57, so in a perfect place for further moves higher, as is the way that the 50-day line is rising. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with alien metals, and here the picture is of a market which has found support and old resistance around around the 0.11 level, Above that, looking for 0.18 as soon as the end of this month. 50 and 200 day lines both rising. We've had RSI rebounds around the 50 mark and a little bit higher in the last few sessions, so that does look quite positive. Corcel is next, and here threatening to go to the target that we had, the best case scenario target we had, the red line there around 0.46. We're looking at that hopefully by the end of this month, while we remain above the 50-day line there, 0.37. RSI's bounced just below neutral 50, so that is hopefully a positive sign. On to Catenai, and here see the market break out of that falling wedge that we've had, or just about break out of it, and also bounce off a rising 200-day line. So looking for the shares to at least get back into the low 30s, which was support for the shares on the way down, and also the area of the 50-day line at 0.3 itself. Be cautious, you wait for an end of day close for the RSI just back above the neutral 50, so maybe taking a view on Monday. DCR is next with its newly found Bitcoin strategy. We've had the shares gap higher to start August, which is a good look. We've got the 50-day line rising as well, so be interesting to see whether we can get through that the mid 20s, 0.25, and then take the shares up to filling that gap from January around the 0.32 level by the end of this month. RSI's bounced on neutral 50 as well, so got a few positives there, even though the shares still look a little bit sluggish. Next up is EnergyPathways, which seems to be finally revitalizing itself as we'd hoped, I think, from yesterday and before. 50-day line also rising at the moment. We've had multiple bounces off RSI 50 in the latter part of July, so that makes this look very good indeed. Initial minimum target here around 8 to 8.4 pence. Ideally, we get up to 12 pence by the end of next month. That's the top of that rising trend channel from October. A stock which has exceeded expectations is Fusion Antibodies. We had the target here up to sort of 14 pence last month when we broke that resistance line there around the 7 pence level. So the shares have doubled in short order, and looking for the upper parallel of the rising trend channel, so above 13, looking for up to 20 pence by the end of this month. Really looks as though we are on our way there. On to Fiinu, and here the news has been probably exactly what the bulls wanted. We've got the top of range, top of price channel target there at 15 pence, looking for that by the end of this month, while we remain above the latest gap floor at 9.6 pence. Metals 1 is next, and here you can see that we are making attempts at turning around. The exact position of that support line looks to be where I've just adjusted it now, so hopefully we've seen the low here towards 4 pence. While we remain above 4 pence, the upside, at least initially, around the 7.5 pence area, the old June support. On to one of the big rises of the day, Petra diamonds, and here we've actually got a bear trap high in reversal, so gapping down in May and then gapping up now. The key here is to stay above recent resistance around 15.5 pence. That was at the end of June. Above that, looking for resistance on the way down towards 21 pence over the next week or so. So that is hopefully a situation where there is follow through. Solvonis is next, and here it looks as though we're ready to have a new leg to the upside. You can see the decent consolidation for the shares around the 0.3 pence level, which basically was a previous target, so 0.29 in fact, previous target. Above 0.29, looking for the resistance on the way down from last year around the 0.46 level. Looking for that as soon as the end of this month, given that we've had 2 RSI rebounds to neutral 50, in fact 4 if you include what we had back in June. So this looks like a strong situation. Trellus is the closing stock here, and it's already doing rather well. You can see that we've actually already hit the target I was looking for when I was preparing this video. So we've got to look for a new one, and that would be the upper parallel of that June rising trend channel. That's heading for 2.14 pence. Hopefully we'll get that during the course of the rest of this month. Ideally, we stay above resistance on the way down around 1.1 pence, above 1.1, looking at 2.2 or more over the next week or two. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.